Hello and welcome back to Keys and Bricks, your trusted podcast where we explore trends, opportunities and innovations in the real estate Kenyan space. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Brilliant Elite Homes. Today, we dive into an exciting, fast-growing trend, the rise of coworking space in Kenya. As many people embrace freelancing, startups, remote work, co-working spaces are becoming a new face of the modern work culture. It's flexible, affordable, and community-driven. And today, I'm joined by Alan and Brian that are going to take us through some of the co-working spaces that are available in Kenya and how the trends have been slowly emerging and being embraced across the country. But before we dive into that episode, let us do a brief recap of our previous episode.
When you want to buy land, don't do it with your emotions. Take each and every step that is required. Have a very good conversation with your advocate. Let them handle all your documentation, all your legal work. And if you're looking at buying land and having a home, be it in Nairobi or outskirts of Nairobi, look at what you want. Look at the economic activities that are happening in the place that you want. And as you buy that land, look at what you want to do with that land in the next 10 years. There's a lot that can be done, and land, as we said, appreciates in value every other day.
Karibu sana Alan and Brian.
Thank you.
Maybe you can just briefly tell our viewers what you do and how you have been.
My name is Brian Karimi. I am a retail consultant. And I'm in the space of, in case you need to have your products in this, getting into the supermarket space in Kenya, getting into the retail outlets in Kenya, then I'm the person to talk to. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Hello, my name is Alan Karani, a retail expert specializing in electronics and household goods. Thank you for having me.
Karibuni sana. So let's just dive straight in. How would you describe the current state of co-working spaces in Kenya?
The co-working spaces in Kenya are born by the need that occurred, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, when most of the businesses had to let go of their office spaces. And then also some of the factors that led to the birth of the same was the cost of real estate, especially commercial office real estate in Nairobi, where you had to make a choice between working from home, but even if you needed a physical office, which you probably did not need on a daily basis. So co-working spaces give you the flexibility of even you can even be able to pay for the number of days that you will use the space. So there was that need. And then also the fact that there was also the rise of what you call the working remotely. And even if you're working remotely, you find some organizations employ people based in Kenya, but they probably do not have enough staff to sustain a whole office. So instead of having an admin, a person to take care of the office, furniture, excuse me, and all the encumbrances and costs that come with having a physical office, then you have a shared office which you can share with other people and only pay for the days that you are using that office.
Yeah, I think to add on that is there's so many international companies that are yet to have satellite offices in this country. And they have very limited number of employees. So for them, getting an entire office just to have 2 or 3 employees is expensive. So this is a space that they are looking at. Then you have freelancers. startups and entrepreneurs who are starting. So it makes it easier for them to just rent that space. And the good thing with the co-working space, you can decide whether you want to have it for a day, for a week, for a month. So it's cost effective in terms of, if I'm a startup, I don't have the muscles to get a whole physical office, then this works well for me. Yeah.
Okay. What are the major challenges some of the operators in this space are facing?
I think most of them have not yet really grasped the need of each and every individual in terms of the amenities that they want. There are some that have a very limited space that doesn't have all the amenities that I want to use. There are some that have very huge spaces with very many amenities that for a single person or a startup person, I don't need to use all those amenities. But you see, now when I am paying for a day, I just need maybe internet and a place to sit, and maybe somewhere to have my coffee. There are other spaces that come with so many things that for me, maybe I don't need it now, I need it later. So the challenges, the people who have invested in this is to understand the clear need of each and every person. Mm-hmm. I know, in business, you cannot meet 100% all the needs of the people. But at least, you see, once we know each and every individual's need, then you work towards their needs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. That's what I can say.
Correct. What are the key factors that have driven the rapid growth of co-working spaces in recent years?
As I said, we have a lot of international organizations who have remote staff who work from Kenya. Some of them travel regionally. Mm-hmm. So if a person maybe is a regional sales manager who needs to travel to, maybe is handling a cluster of, let's say, the East and Central African region, that's about 12 to 15 countries. Mm-hmm. So if they have to travel within the region, and then they are the only representatives of that organization here, which is the best place to go and meet the clients, go and have a office space which is safe, a safe environment, high-speed internet. You find in some places, like even in the Horn of Africa, Kenya is well advanced in terms of the internet age and also provision of high-speed internet, high-speed connectivity, infrastructural in terms of air connectivity. But you find in some other countries you have a challenge. In places like South Sudan, places like Sudan itself, which is at war at the moment, Somalia, Somaliland, you have Eritrea, Djibouti, you have Central African Republic, DRC, which is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania are well advanced in the communication type of space, but you find in those other places you might have challenges. So getting to work from the co-working spaces for the days which that person is in those places is much easier than having a physical office where you must have staff working there. So that has led to the rise of the co-working spaces. Yes.
How have we seen co-working spaces improve productivity and collaboration among professionals?
In terms of productivity, when it comes to co-working space, it will really improve your productivity. Let's say you are working from home. When you're working from home, the interruptions that are there, you have kids who will come to your home office to just want to see what you're doing. That it affects your productivity. But when you're working from the co-working space, it is like your own office. You own that particular space and you have enough resources that will make you really work. In terms of also the working hours, you have the whole day to work. So you have enough time to do your thing from there. So your productivity at the co-working space compared to your home or to any other place. Look at if you're working from a cafeteria. The interruptions are there. People are walking in and walking out. That will slow down on whatever you are doing. But in a co-working space, you are in an enclosed space, your own space, where you can think, you can do your work without having those interruptions. So I believe there your productivity is very improved.
You also have the fact that you have separation between the working from home and working in an office. When you're working in an office, you can actually commit the hours, as Alan said, to actual putting in of work. And then when also you are collaborating also with other people in that particular space, if you see people are busy, then you get also inspired to also work on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Another thing is the collaboration. You might find people who are in other industries, or even your colleagues who you might share that co-working space with. You can have reference, you can ask questions for something that may bother you instead of making calls. Then you have a physical person you can go to and ask. In case there is anything like your mailing packages that you want to receive from an office environment, then you can have them forwarded to that address which you're operating. So you find it is easier. It gives you the convenience of an office without the cost that comes with it. Yes.
Something else we can add on that, there are so many people who are working from those places. In terms of you getting references and mentorship, it also improves, because you have different groups of people who you can now interact with, and it gives you a wider knowledge of whatever project or whatever thing that you are working on.
So how do you foster a sense of community among the members within your space?
The sense of community is already there, as he said. You have people working in different industries in the co-working space. So you might find I am in I'm in retail. I might have in that co-working space a person who has come in with an organization that needs to get in the Kenyan retail space. So as opposed to him going to look out for someone else to do that for him, I will then tell him, I am a retail consultant, so I can guide you on the steps in terms of listing products, having products registered with the Kenya Bureau of Standards. So that collaboration between the people who are in that co-working space can already lead to a wider network, increasing your network of professional people who you're dealing with in your workspace and also socially. So that sense of community is already there, because you are a whole community who operate from that working space, as opposed to people who have each individual offices where you're just meeting your colleagues on a day-to-day basis. Yes.
What amenities or services do members value the most?
For a working space, I'm looking at high-speed internet. That is my first thing that I would be able to look at. Then I look at what other things that I need a cafeteria. Definitely when I'm working, I'll need to eat. I need to have somewhere I can just go and unwind after maybe a very busy schedule of mine, and I need to sit somewhere, unwind, just reprogram myself. So I think for me, those are the things that I will look at.
You have basics. Electricity, a backup generator in case there is no electricity. You have photocopiers, you have printers, you have use of an executive assistant who is available at that co-working space. So those are the ones that you might overlook, but they are also equally important as much as the internet, because again, if in case you're working from a laptop, you need power to power it up. Sometimes you need to print some documents, sign them, maybe scan them to resend them back to whoever you're in discussions with. So in that space, you have all the equipment that is factored in an office, but without having to carry the whole cost of all that equipment and the conveniences of the internet, power, backup generator, printers, scanners. Yes.
So how do you ensure the safety and comfort of everyone using the space?
Now, in terms of ensuring the safety, I think as the person who is setting up, there are so many things that you need to put into consideration. Just like you're setting up a normal office, there has to be a proper exit in case of emergency. You need to have proper equipment in terms of fire extinguishers, fire hoses. You need to have also cautionary signs for anyone that is coming to that area. In the event of an emergency, there has to be clear instructions of what needs to be done. You will have to do fire drills to at least encourage and show people what they need to do or how they need to do it in case there is an emergency. So when you're setting up all this, you need to have the safety of the people that are going to be using that space in mind. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you see co-working spaces evolving in Kenya over the next 5 to 10 years?
There's bound to be growth of the same, because like 5 years ago we didn't have too many of them. Right now we have maybe about 10 to 15, which are already not just prevalent in Nairobi, because you also have them in Mombasa. You have even
Kisumu.
in Kisumu, in Nakuru. You even have now organizations like resorts offering co-working spaces within their premises. So you find the convenience of maybe a hotel which is running a conference, and they have a co-working space in case anyone needs to have a meeting on the side. They are providing that as in their business centers. So the co-working space is bound to grow. Then the more also the Kenyan space, especially for the sub-Saharan African region, we are having a lot of startups. The capital outlay of start opening an office is negated when you have a co-working space. So you find, if I have a startup and like me who's a consultant, if I need a physical working space or I have a meeting, I'd rather have it and pay on a daily basis or for the period I need to use the space. So it is bound to grow exponentially. Yes.
Do you think that the evolving of co-working space is also a disadvantage in the sense that now more briefcase companies will come up?
From where I sit, briefcase companies right now in Kenya coming up is a bit of a challenge because of the laws that have been put in place. Yes, initially there was those issues, but now with the laws that are currently in place, for you to have a briefcase company, it will take a toll on you. For me, I think in co-working space are encouraging startups who before were like not really keen into going to the startups because of the cost implication on terms of the need to have a physical office. Then, as I said, we have freelancers who now they can do their thing. We have content creators who can go sit in that co-working space, do their thing, and they will not have that much of a cost compared to having a physical office. So if you look at it from a business perspective, it is something that is encouraging startups, freelancers, tech guys. Even if you just have an idea of something that you want to do, your cost implication in terms of doing it or starting it will not be affected by you thinking about the physical office. So for briefcase company right now, it's a no.
And I think also that what you call the briefcase company could in future be a blue chip company. It's just that they need to first of all align. I might have a capital outlay of maybe 1 million shillings. If I say I'm going to set up an office, how much do I pay in the CBD or in the premium Westlands Upper Hill area for an office? There's goodwill. There's the office setup, because you're given basically a box to put your so by the time you're doing your interiors, you're doing your furniture, your money is gone. So basically you have the money for setup of the office, but to actually sustain the business, nothing is left in your pocket. So for you to be effective in your business and to invest all your money in the right way, start at the co-working space. When you grow your revenue, then you can move into your own space if you need, because it's not all organizations like the tech, as Alan was saying, not all of them need space. Depending on the number of staff, depending on your engagement with clients. In those co-working spaces, you have meeting rooms, which when you're meeting clients, you can go into those co-working spaces, meeting rooms, meet the people you need to meet, and do everything that you can do in your own office, by just not having your name on the door panel.
Yes. So are we seeing then a drop in the in the cost of renting commercial spaces?
There is definitely going to be a drop because the less the demand. You'll find in some places like Upper Hill and Westlands, you have buildings which came up 2, 3, 4 years ago and they are not fully occupied up to now. So those people are having now to rethink their rental ask. They're also having to reconsider the people they want to attract to those spaces. They're having, some of them who are giving conditions earlier. They do not want this business or this business in such spaces. But you find later on they compromise. And that is a trend that is bound to happen as more and more co-working spaces open up. But from a perspective of the real estate space in Kenya, then you're going to find the alignment of the cost of the co-working space and the cost of owning an office coming closer to each other, where they are now encouraging you, instead of working from a co-working space, the buildings are now going to be offering the co-working spaces to some of their tenants who can afford a fully fledged office of their own. So you find, as I said, 5 years ago we probably had 1 or 2. Right now we have maybe 10 to 15 of them.
I think it's a growing trend where now even investors in commercial, those ones who need to have the physical offices, need to now start adding these amenities that are being provided in the co-working space to attract people back. Because yes, before it was really hard to own a physical office. But now with the trend of co-working space, it will be a challenge for you as a commercial business owner if you stick there and still wait for just people to come and rent your open space. So you have to add to your space amenities, things that
value addition.
Yeah, you need to add to that so that it will attract more people. Yes, I know with that addition it will come with a cost, but it will give traction now to people to start thinking, okay, if I can get this from a physical office, even if I'm going to add a little bit on that, then I'm better off. But that is now, if I am a person who has already made their money from a co-working space, they want to grow back now to a physical office. There is now that need. So the balance will be there. I don't see a place where now the co-working space will overtake, but the need for the guys who own the commercial buildings to now start adding that and then to bring them closer to the co-working space.
I don't know. I'm seeing like the co-working spaces will take over, because if I need to set up an office, a physical office, I have to buy furniture. I have to have maybe a boardroom and buy furniture to of each and every
not just
office.
Furniture, even equipment.
Yes. But now when I go to a co-working space, this is already provided for. And I've seen them now offering, being flexible enough to offer, not just, it depends on how many employees or what you want. They can even customize and brand it for you so that this is a location that has your door branded, your name on the door panel. Yes. So,
but it also depends. Long term, you see, you also need ownership. As much as you'll have that space, it is never yours until you have your name on the list. So the co-working space will work up to a certain point. When you get to a critical, what I would call critical breaking point in terms of the number of staff you have, what your need for the business is, then you find that you may need to now grow further into your own space where you can be able to do your own activities, things like training, things like bringing in more people on things like people who know, even if they work beyond the hours that are agreed upon, then they can leave their equipment and tools of trade within the premises, knowing very well nobody is going to interfere with those. Yes, as opposed to a co-working space which is shared. The shared working space means some things like I can't leave my laptop on top of the table and go home. I have to put it in an orderly manner in storage away. Unless now you're saying they have branded spaces which are now reserved specifically for you.
Yes.
But now that also comes at a premium.
At a premium.
Yes.
But comparing to still owning a physical space, especially for startups and maybe the SMEs, who can want to, most of them maybe might start going that direction, because what I've seen, they have even introduced the aspect of designated desks.
Yes.
With a designated desk, it means that
No one else
is going to access it. It is only
as
you.
You're paying
You are
for
paying
that.
for that
Okay.
monthly. Yeah.
Yes.
And which is, again, affordable as compared to a
Owning
monthly
a
rent.
physical office
Yes.
with a physical rent, and
Yes,
also all the costs that come with it.
Yeah.
The service charge,
Yes, yes.
the cost of maintenance. You have to employ staff to maintain that office. Even if you go and get a service provider who provides the services of maybe cleaning the offices,
Yeah.
maintaining them, then you still have to pay for that service.
that service.
Yeah, and I get where you're coming from.
I think what I would say on that is it depends with the company itself. You will reach a point in time where you will need to have your own physical
location.
So
yes.
For me, the demand for the office will still be there, as much as it might still drop. Yes, but there'll come a time, because organizations, as they grow, they need to have that identity. They need to have that own space. So within a certain period of time, you can depend on the co-working space.
Yes.
But when you reach a time when you are the optimum, you will need to have your own space. Yeah,
that's the word. As they grow.
It's, as I said, it's reaching your critical mass.
Yes.
When you get to your critical mass, then you need to expand. You may then need your own office space.
Yes.
And nowadays I've seen cases where people now are even looking at residential places like in Karen, in Upper Hill, where they now take that space and convert it into
an office.
An office where they also have open spaces. People don't have to just work at their desk. You can go and work on the lawn, in between the greenery, in nature. So that is also becoming attractive. And some of those co-working spaces are in such environments. Yes.
So what role will co-working spaces play in shaping the future of work and entrepreneurship?
It's bound to assist, especially entrepreneurship, because again, as I said, it's encouraging people who are what we call one-man shows to have an office, to have collaboration with the people they meet there. In case I am coming there, I am also networking. I tell people, my name is Brian, I'm in this and this trade. In case you hear of anything in that space, kindly refer to me, and someone else will tell you they offer services that can help the industry you are in, and you will meet them all within that environment of the co-working space. So from an entrepreneurial and growth kind of setup, we are looking at collaborations that may go far beyond your working from that co-working space. Yes.
The benefits that comes with the co-working space are many. So for a person who is looking at either setting up or getting into the co-working space, you have so many things to get from that. As an entrepreneur, you will have so many things. Look at mentorship. Look at the amenities that come with that. Look at you separating yourself from your home if you are working from home. Look at the setups that come with those co-working space. For me, I would say in a co-working space, the most interesting bit, these guys have set up places where once I have done my work and I feel like my head is ready to explode, I can go out into a greenery, just enjoy the space there. So it is the benefits that are coming with it that really making people go for them. And it's creating now that demand for those co-working space. So from where I sit, is a space that is still growing, and it's an opportunity for an investor who has the money and is looking for a space something to do. That is a space that has not been fully utilized, and a space that you can really put your money in.
So do we foresee this expanding to satellite towns?
Yes, definitely. Actually, even now, the most attractive ones are not the ones in the CBD. They are the ones in the periphery of the CBD. So you'll find the Westlands area, the Upper Hill area, the Karen area, the Lavington, Kileleshwa, peri-urban areas is where they are being set up, because people are looking for a different environment. as opposed to the skyscrapers in the CBD where you're looking out, seeing the skyline, seeing other buildings. People are looking at somewhere where I can go and probably walk out and have a conversation on the phone, breathe in fresh air, and walk back into an office space where I probably have all the amenities and comforts of a air-conditioned environment when hot, heated rooms when cold. So there's all that. The peri-urban areas are definitely going to be the most attractive for the co-working spaces.
So what advice would you give entrepreneurs or freelancers considering to join a co-working space?
The benefits exceeds what they are looking for, because looking at the cost implication, you have co-working spaces that are offering you for a day 2,000. You don't need to be in an office for all the days of the month. So if you're somebody who wants to be in an office maybe for 5 days or 7 days in a month, you pay for the 7 days, and even you pay for the hours that you need to be in that space. So this is a space that is offering you everything that you need at a very good cost. Then it comes with everything that you need, the amenities that are there, the location. It is you to decide on which co-working space that you need to use. So for an entrepreneur, this is the way to go. We have spaces that you can get very cheaper prices, and you will have everything that you need in those places. So if you're looking for space, this is the only way to go.
I look at it from two perspectives: convenience and flexibility. They give you that, and you do not need anything more, especially as a startup, a small and micro enterprise. You do not want to put all your costs in space where you're operating from. So the co-working space works very well because you can actually allocate resources to where they are needed more than on the paying for premises, paying costs like goodwill, paying staff who have to maintain those, paying for services. So the co-working space gives you the flexibility and the convenience. Yes.
Okay. So what common mistakes would you advise entrepreneurs not to make as they choose a co-working space to work from?
I think all you need to do is find a co-working space that works for you. Because again, you may go and want to be in a co-working space where your business maybe is in something like engineering. And you do not just need co-working spaces may not necessarily provide storage for your equipment. So you want to come with your bulldozer and your backhoe digger and you want to park it in that premises and say, I've paid for the office premises, so I will, and they knew I am in the engineering business, so I am going to park my equipment here. So they may not necessarily, so kindly find out before you go to any co-working space whether they provide for your needs before you sign up for any, whether it is 1 day, whether it is 1 year, whether it is 1 month. Before you sign up, see whether it fits your need for your kind of business.
As you said earlier, the co-working spaces are different and they provide different amenities. So for an entrepreneur, you look at what you are doing. You look at what space you need. You look at what equipment you need. What amenities do you need? And what are the co-working spaces producing? Because some of them will be, as I said earlier, will have so many things that you do not need. So you consider that based on also the cost of the space. There are those that will be within your means. There are those that will be above your means. So have a checklist. Just tick on what you want. Then go to each and every one of them, see who fits in your checklist, and you are good to go. Yeah.
Okay. So before I take your closing remarks, I'd want to take our viewers through one of our co-working spaces located in Lavington. It's called To Work. To Work is a serene co-working space located in Lavington, Nairobi, designed for freelancers, startups, creatives, and businesses. It combines productivity, networking, and modern amenities in a vibrant, collaborative community. The membership options that are available at To Work are 1, a private office membership, 2, virtual office address, dedicated desk, communal desk membership, day pass access, and bundles. For more information about To Work co-working space, kindly reach us on the number below our screen. Alternatively, send us an email to sales@brilliantelitehomes.com. So before we close, what are your closing remarks to our viewers?
When it comes to co-working space, this is an area that is really growing in Kenya. And for any startup, for any entrepreneur, freelancer who is who wants to start and he's very keen at cutting cost in terms of having a physical office, this is the only way to go. These co-working spaces gives you a very wider range of benefits, where we've talked about mentorship, we've talked about productivity, we've talked about the amenities that come with these spaces. So if you want to start a business, you can reduce your costs by just walking into a co-working space. Discuss with them the modalities of how you need to work. You might want to be in an office for only 2 days in a week. They'll provide for you, and Brilliant Homes are here. They have very good places and spaces for co-working space. Discuss with them and they'll be able to help you out on that.
There's only bound to be growth of the co-working space in Kenya. And I believe the more that is going to encourage the SMEs and also the companies which operate, a lot of people operate their businesses from a briefcase, as you said, and also from their homes. So to separate that option of the home and the office, then you find the co-working space will provide a good address for your business, and also from a perspective of networking with other people, you look for the co-working space. As Alan put it, talk to Brilliant Homes. They will be able to advise you according to your need, and they will fit your need to a co-working space that fits your profile and also meets your needs. Yes.
That brings us to the end of today's episode on Keys and Bricks. We've learned how co-working spaces are redefining work in Kenya, creating communities, supporting innovation, and providing affordable flexibility for modern professionals. A big thank you to our guests, Alan and Brian, for sharing such valuable insights, and to our sponsor, Brilliant Elite Homes, for supporting this conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more stories that connect you to Kenyans' evolving real estate business scene. Until next time, this has been Keys and Bricks, real advice for real estate decisions. I've been your host, Lorraine Ashimosi. Till next time.